Good morning, dear students. I'm teacher George, and it's a pleasure to have you once again in my class for class number 3, where today we're going to be talking about another interesting topic, which is news, okay? Today we're going to learn about news. Who doesn't want to know about news? You have news everywhere, especially now that we are in the middle of a pandemic. There's a whole bunch of news and the world crisis, the vaccination process. Who doesn't watch news? You watch news in the TV, on the radio, on the internet, right? So today we're gonna get started, and today we have the following students. We have Molly and Lucy. Welcome. We have Hernan. Are you there, Hernan? Hello. Good morning, Hernan. Santiago. Good morning. Good morning. Kevin. Good morning. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. Isaias. Good morning. Good morning. Nicole. Good morning. Good morning, Nicole. Mary, good morning. Good morning. Okay. All right. So today we're going to get started with the news. Like I said, news is, we hear about news all the time, and we can hear it from different types of sources, right? Okay. So we're going to get started with our class for today. To start with our class, does everybody have a cell phone, a mobile with them? Okay, perfect. Okay, so because what I'm gonna need you to do now is I'm gonna get you to go to your applications where you download the applications, whether it is the Google or iPhone, and go to the store and you're gonna download an application that is called CNN. Okay. See, I need you to download the application CNN in your phones, please. Okay. Once you download the application, that's basically what's gonna look like, okay? So download the application on your phones about news, okay? It's called CNN, okay? So yeah, you just have to go to the Google store or the Apple store and just put CNN and click download. What is it, Santiago? Yes, CNN is called the application. Hernan, you have it? Okay. Kevin, okay. Isaias, Nicole, Mary. Does everybody have the application now? Okay. Alrighty. So once you have the application, can everybody see the application? Okay. So in today's class, we talking about news. I'm gonna present you the objectives of this class. Okay. Today we're gonna learn to talk about news and its different types. Did you know that there's different types of news? There are different types of news. No, right? So there are different types of news. We're also going to learn to understand main points in short, simple texts. Okay, we're gonna learn to understand main points in short, simple text because that's what you get when you read the news on familiar subjects. And we also are going to learn the different types of headlines that we have. Okay. All right. So let's get started already. Okay. So if everybody is on this page on the application, then you're gonna see that at the top part of the application you have different types of news. You have world news, right? World news talks about all the different types of news around the world. In what's happening right now in Israel or in Italy or United States or Canada or China, right? Then you have U.S. politics that talks about politics about the U.S., right? What's going on with the modern situation right there, and everything that has to do with politics. We have business, we have health, we have entertainment, style, travel, sports, and videos, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you about, let's see, Nicole, can you tell me when the news, part of the news is talks about entertainment, what comes to your mind when I talk about entertainment? Yes, yeah, movies, TV shows, okay. Everything that entertains, right? Yes, correct. How about you, Isaias? When I talk about sports, what comes to your mind? Different types of sports, right? Different types of sports, different types of activities related to sport. So as you can see, the news are divided in different sections, right? As it says here, and we're gonna go and later on and talk about each one of them, okay? So for example, here we have Belarus accused of state-sponsored piracy, right? Or here, activists in critical condition after being shot in London, okay? So as you can see, there's different types of news, okay? So now today you are going to learn the types, what's a headline, okay? What's a headline and the different types of headlines, okay? So let's see it. So now I'm gonna present you my screen so you can see. Okay. Okay, we're gonna see, okay. All right, so let me just show you my screen. Okay, all right, so we're gonna learn what a headline, because in the news, one of the things that, is key in the news is a headline. What's a headline? A headline of a news story is a short summary which introduces the story at the beginning of a TV or radio news broadcast, of which appears above the articles in the newspapers or on the website. So this is what a headline looks like. As you can see, it's always at the top, right? It's at the top of the news of the article that you're reading in your newspaper or on the internet, right? Or the media, and introduces a story. It's like the purpose of a headline is to grab your attention. It introduces the story. It's always at the top, but in a short summary, in a short sentence, right? It tells you what the news is about, okay? Introduces the story at the beginning of a TV or radio news broadcast as well. Or also it appears in articles in newspapers or on a website, like I just explained you, okay? So what's the purpose of a headline? Today we're gonna learn the purpose of a headline. The purpose of a headline is, what it says, what are headlines? Articles in newspapers that have large headlines at the top. The headline is usually quite short and only 4 to 5 words. As you can see, headlines are 4 to 5. Normally, there are headlines that are longer, depending on the type of news that you want to do. Here, the purpose of a headline is to capture the reader's attention, okay? The purpose of the headline is to capture the reader's attention by making the article seem interesting and exciting, okay? So basically, when you're writing an essay, right? Or when you're writing a paragraph, you always have like the topic sentence, right? The purpose of the topic sentence is to grab the reader's attention. So this is the same idea when you use a headline. It is to grab the reader's attention about that the news that they're going to read is very interesting, okay? So that's the purpose of a headline, okay? So now we are going to learn the different types of headlines. Did you know that there are different types of headlines, Mary? No, right? How about you, Hernan? You are not sure, huh? Yeah, no, there are different types of headlines. So let's see what are the different types of headlines. So we have, these are the different types of headlines. We have 5 different types of headlines. We have banner head, we have cross-line head, flush left head, side heads, or also known as flush right head, and we have kicker, also known as eyebrow, okay? So let's see each one of the different types of headlines, okay? So here we have the first one, banner head. Banner headlines are attention grabbers. They set the tone and they're usually sparingly, okay? The banner head is the full page width at the top of the news page to draw the attention to the lead story of that particular page. So this is an example of a banner head. As you can see, it says it's a full page width. So do you see how it occupies the whole page, right? It's a full page width at the top of the news page, as you can see here, right? To draw the attention to the lead story of a particular page. So if you want to grab the reader's attention, the type of headline that you have to use is the banner head. That's specifically to grab the reader's attention. Then we go with the next one, the crossline head. It does not always span the full width of the page, but it does cover all the columns of the story to which it pertains. Okay, so this one is not as long as the first one, as the banner head, but it has to cover all the columns of the story. You see, these are the columns of the story, and the crossline head news has to be here. It has to cover all the columns. Okay, so this is another type of headline. Let's go to see the third one. Flush left head. The flush left head is a 2 to 3 line. Keep this in mind. 2 to 3 line head with each line set flush left, right? The lines do not have to be equal or width or set full. Here, as you can see, it's a 2 to 3 line head, right? This one particularly has 2 lines, right? With each line set flush left. So as you can see, like the lines are flush to the left, right? Both lines are flush to the left. And it says here, they do not have to be equal in width or set. So this one can be bigger than the other one, okay? So that's an example of flush left head. Now let's see the next one. Flush right headline. In this, all lines are to the right side and run rag to the left, okay? So this particular type of headline, the lines are to the right, okay? They are to the right and they are ragged to the left, okay? So for example, New Delhi sets record with 1,500 murders. So you see how they are on the right-hand side? Or ceasefire in London, deployment of the UN. But this one is flushed to the left. Peacekeeping force soon, right? This is a single line. And the next one, Muslim world unites against US presence in Iraq. So do you see how it's flashed to the right? Like it is flashed to the, like they go on the side, it goes to the right, but it is flush to the left, right? It is flush to the left. Okay, so then now we know what other are the types of headlines and the purpose that each one of them fulfill, right? So we say that headlines are to, what is it? Molly, what's the purpose of a headline? Yes, to capture readers' attention. How long should a headline be, Isaias? Yeah, they could be short or long, but it's more or less 4 to 5 words, correct. Okay, already. So now I'm gonna ask you to, we're gonna go to our news app again, right? We're gonna go to our news app, okay? And then we are going to choose a piece of news from the section that you prefer. It could be world, politics, business, health, entertainment, whichever you want. And I want you to choose a piece of news and you have to share with your classmates the type of news that you like or you prefer, okay? For any of these sections. For example, I'm gonna pick, let's say, style, okay? So, okay, so let's go to our news app and we're going to pick some of our newses that we prefer. Okay, so you have 2 minutes to do this activity. What is it, Isaias? Yeah, you have to go to the news app and choose from one of the sections. You have to choose from one of the sections the type of news that you prefer or that you are attracted to, okay? Yes, please. Okay. So let's see it. Okay, you start, Hernan. Okay, which one are you gonna share? Fashion, like me? Okay. So now you have to share the headlines that you've chosen. Okay, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher opened the doors to their stunning LA home. Okay. Let's see another example. Mary, what section did you choose to share your news? Entertainment? Okay, now please share us the types of headlines that you got. Okay, Paul Walker's Toyota Supra with the Fast and the Furious is up for auction. Okay, Let's see, Santiago. Also entertainment. Okay, share us the headline, please. Okay, master of none, changes direction and focus with moments in love. Okay, all right, let's see another example. Let's see. Lucy, can you please share us your headline? What is it? AstraZeneca vaccines cause thrombosis. Okay, and Hernan, can you share us the headlines and type of news that you got? What is it? Activists in critical condition after being shot in London. Okay, so as you can see, these are the different types of news. As you can see, one is related to entertainment, other ones are related to fashion, other ones are related to politics, to and as you can see now, you know all the different types of headlines that there are, right? Okay. Now, so now does everybody know what a headline is? Yes. Do you know, Santiago, Kevin, Isaías, Nicole, Mary, Hernan, Molly, and Lucy? Okay. All right. So now you're going to work in pairs. Okay. You're going to work in pairs, and one of you are going to share some of the news with your partner. Okay. But I'm going to share with you some expressions that you can use to share your news as well. Okay. Okay, to react to your news, because when somebody's giving the news, there will be some expressions that you can use to show emphasis when you want to react to a particular news. Okay, all right. So we're gonna work in groups. Okay, so Molly with Lucy, Hernan with Santiago, Kevin and Isaías, and Nicole and Mary. Okay, get together, and you guys gonna talk about the types of news. Okay, share the news that calls your attention to each other, and you are going to. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, so now these are, when you hear the news, there are some phrases that you can use to express feelings and emotions when hearing the news. For example, hit the headlines. That's shocking. That's awesome. That's astonishing. It's hard to believe. Okay, so when you hear the news, there are some feelings and emotions that you can express to show, like shocking, surprise, disbelief, when you hear the news. Okay, so I want you to, one of you are going to share the news with your partner, and your partner is gonna use some of these expressions while hearing the type of news that you hear. Okay. Okay, you have 2 minutes for this activity. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So let's see the types of news that you guys got. Okay. Okay. So let's. I'm gonna put you in groups. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go with the group number one. Let's see. Lucy and Molly. Indian journalists are taking extraordinary steps to challenge Modi's pandemic narrative. That's shocking. Perfect. Excellent. Exactly, Lucy. That's how you use the element of surprise. Okay, let's see another example. Isaías and Kevin. Okay, Black Lives Matter activists in critical condition after being shot in head in London. Hit the headlines. Excellent, perfect. Do you see? This is how you use these expressions of expressing feelings and emotions. Hit the headlines because it's a big news, right? Somebody got shot in while they were doing an activist protest. So that's something that really hits the headlines, right? So it's very, very shocking, right? Okay, already. So let's continue with our class. Now I'm going to, for the next activity, we are going to, okay. So for the next activity, we're going to do an exercise about presenting news, okay? First, I'm going to model how to do, we're gonna pretend, all of the sudden, we're gonna pretend that we're gonna be news presenters, also known as news anchors, okay? So I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna be a news anchor to show you how to give a news, okay? I'm gonna give you two news and two newses, and then you see how I do it, and then you guys gonna follow my example and do the exact same thing, okay? All right. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jorge Espinoza. I'm the news presenter here in Teleamazonas. Welcome to our news show. Today we have some fabulous news. As first news, we have Guillermo Lasso took the presidency of Ecuador for the first time in history after 3 attempts. Let's see the note. Okay. Second news. Hello, everyone. My name is Jorge Espinoza. Welcome to your Ecuavisa news television show. Today, we have some fabulous news and very interesting ones as well. As a first news, we have the Ministry of Education says that he decided to quit because he got sick. Let's see the note with our local reporters. Okay. Okay. So do you see? So now I want you to practice on your own. Okay. And you're gonna pretend to be news anchors. Okay. You're gonna pick a news from any of the sections that you like, and you're gonna pretend that you are news anchors, and you're gonna present the news to a public, but you're just talking. You're just gonna practice, because later on we're gonna have an activity where you're gonna have to expose your newses. But right now, let's just pretend, just like I did, pretend that you are a news anchor and practice two news from newses from the sections that you like. Okay, you have 2 minutes to do this activity. Okay, so let's hear it. I want to hear it. Santiago. Okay. Okay, Barcelona, what? Qualified to quarterfinals in Copa Libertadores. Libertadores Cup. Okay, no Copa Libertadores. You don't say it in Spanish, you say it in English. Libertadores Cup. Okay, Another news. Let's see, Nicole, I want to hear your news. Yes, I want to hear your news, please. China is planning what? To launch new satellite to the moon. It's not launch like a meal. It's launch, like to send, like it's from the verb to send. Okay, to launch. It's not satellite, it's satellite. Satellite. Okay, and another thing that you have to do is when you give the news, you have to show some emotion. China is about to launch a new satellite to the moon, right? Like you have to emphasize, sometimes you have to raise your tone. Depending on the type of news, you have to sometimes raise your tone. The shock in the news, you raise the tone, okay? You raise the tone. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna do a group work activity again, and we are going to. Do you remember that I asked you to select a couple newses from at the beginning from any of these sections? Yes. Okay. So we're gonna get the same newses that we selected from the beginning, and I'm gonna put you in pairs. Okay. So I'm gonna put the pairs: Kevin with Lucy, Molly with Santiago, Isaias with Nicole. Okay. And what you're going to do is you are going to share the newses to your partner. Okay. The ones that you picked. But this time you are going to, but your partner has to react to it, okay, in a natural way. Yes, you have to use the expressions that I gave you earlier. Yes, that's shocking. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen once again to show you the expressions that I'm gonna share my screen once again to show you the expressions that I provide you, okay? So once again, we're going to, this time we're gonna do it more thoroughly by applying the intonation, the proper intonation, okay? Okay. Okay. I want you to use the next three expressions at the bottom this time. Okay, so let's present the news that we got. Okay. Okay, so I want to hear the first group. We have Lucy with Santiago. Okay, Lucy, present your news. Leonardo DiCaprio is going to donate $23 million to fix Galapagos Islands. No, but you have to use more intonation. Yes. Leonardo DiCaprio is going to donate $23 million to save the Galapagos Islands. Excellent. That's what I want. I want you to use to raise your tone of voice to emphasize that the news is shocking, that the news is like something really, that is something that is not common. Not everybody's going to donate $23 million to some random country to save the islands, right? So that's something that doesn't happen every day. It's not common. So do it again, please. Leonardo DiCaprio, has decided to $23 million, yes, to save the Galapagos Islands. Excellent. Okay, and now, Santiago, your reaction. That's astonishing. Yes, excellent. Exactly, that's how I want you to do it, okay? Okay. All right, another one. When I hear another news. Let's see my other group, the group number 2. Okay, Molly and Mary. Okay. What is it? Ecuador? Okay. Ecuador got 500,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine to vaccinate all the people in the country. Okay, this one is not that shocking. So you have to model, you have to moderate your tone of voice, right? Because it's not that, but moderate it a little bit. Ecuador, in other news, okay, exactly. In other news, Ecuador got 500,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine to vaccinate the rest of the country. Okay, now your partner has to do the expression. It's hard to believe. Yes, perfect. Excellent. So do you see how the way how you present news, right, plays a role, and the intonation that you have to use to grab the viewers or the reader's attention also plays a key role of how you express, how you pronounce the words, the way you present them. If you are smiling, if you're not smiling, if you are shocked, if you're not shocked, if you are surprised, if you are not surprised. That's what's going to call the reader's attention or the viewer's attention. And the viewer's attention also have to react by using these phrases that I provide you. Hit the headlines, that's shocking, that's awesome, that's astonishing. It's hard to believe, to react to the types of news that you get. Okay, already. Okay, so for the next activity, what I want you to do is, I'm gonna share my screen again about the news. 1 second. Okay, here, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so for my next, for the next activity, does everybody have a cell phone? Yes, you do, okay. All right, what I want you to do is, I want you to, you're going to record an audio. You know, now you can send audios in WhatsApp, right? In WhatsApp, in YouTube, right? So I want you to record an audio, and I want you to send me an audio talking about coronavirus, pandemic matters, weather, earthquakes, okay? And what I want you to do is, I want you to send me an audio using a rising or falling intonation when giving the news, okay? What is it, Santiago? Your audio recording can be anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, please. Yeah, send it to my phone, because I'm gonna be checking the pronunciation, and I'm gonna be checking the type of intonation that you give. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You can send me to my WhatsApp. Okay. All right. Already. Okay. So now we're gonna go to the next activity. For the next activity, I'm gonna show you a video of tips how to present news or how to be a good news anchor. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen once again, and we're gonna see some tips how to be a good news anchor. Okay. Pay attention because the next activity that I'm gonna send you guys is related to this. So I want you to pay attention. Okay. Already.
Opportunity for you to introduce yourself, so to speak, to potential for you to do. After all, this is the opportunity for you to introduce yourself, offer a few tips on how to make this very easy and very natural.
Okay, so here we have the video.
Offer a few tips on how to make this very easy and very natural for you to do. After all, this is the opportunity for you to introduce yourself, so to speak, to potential clients. So be yourself. Let them see who you are, your heart, your humanity,
Listen,
and what you bring to the table for them. Just be yourself. When you talk to the camera,
be yourself.
Treat the camera as you would another person. In other words, you're not going to just stare at it and never take your eyes off it. You might take
just
your
pretend
eyes
that
off
you're
for a moment
that the camera is another person.
Come back to it. Just be comfortable. Be relaxed.
Be comfortable, relax.
Out everything that you think you want to say. You'll just wind up going on and
you
on.
have to be very specific about what you say.
So again, speak from the heart. Basically, the idea is we're going to be giving you that home run pitch, that soft pitch for you to hit it out of the park, showing your potential clients that you know what you're talking about, that you're the expert on this, and you'll just be telling them what you already know. So just give yourself some bullet points on the things that you want them to
you
know
have to
about
write down bullet points of the
about.
things that you want to talk about.
Bullet points. If you're sitting down, and which you probably will be for the interview, let me show you a few tips. Here's an old anchorman tip. So when you get the chair,
okay, so pay attention to this. Is very important.
Down in your chair, you want your jacket to be
Santiago, you are not paying attention.
You want your coat to sit well on the shoulders.
Mary,
not banging up around the neck. So what you do when you sit down is you tuck the coat tails under your behind. And you put your behind and it just tightens up the coat.
You see, you have to be sitting up straight up.
Relax. The camera's only
relax.
You from about here on up.
You're not gonna be like this.
Very natural. And natural.
You have to look natural.
Naturally. Don't ramble on with the comments that you're going to make. Just say a few of those bullet points that you want to get in that you think are really germane to the subject.
Okay, so as you can see, those are some of the tips that this anchorman is giving us. So we're going to present a video so that we know how to present a video talking about the news. Okay, so now as a next activity, I'm gonna get you to do a news presentation. You're gonna pretend that you are a news anchor, and you're going to record a video 2 to 3 minutes where you're gonna be presenting some news, okay, to your classmates. The news is the news of your preferences or your preference, okay? How are we gonna do this? We're gonna do this through the use of a platform, okay? I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna provide you a platform, okay? So that you can use it to, okay. So we're gonna use it. We're gonna use the BCI platform. That is like a video, it's a video recording platform where you can upload videos, right? It's like a YouTube. And we're gonna upload or a video where you're gonna be presenting news, showing headlines, okay? You're gonna tell us, share the headlines, and you're gonna put into practice what we learned so far in the class, okay? The video should be like 2 to 3 minutes long. It doesn't have to be that long. And make sure you use the right pronunciation and to follow the tips that I just present you. Okay? All right. So let's get started. Okay? Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Yeah, you can do it in the platform. Okay? Molly and Lucy, you guys want to appear in the same video? In the same video? Okay. All right. You guys can be in the same video. Okay. All right. Okay, you have 2 minutes to record this video. All right, let's get started. Yes, Santiago. Record a 2 to 3 minutes video and select the news that you prefer, and you're gonna pretend that you are a news anchor, and you're going to pronounce clearly. You're gonna use intonation, right? You're gonna use intonation, and you're going to present the headlines that you have chosen. Okay. Okay, so we already have one. The group number one, Lucy and Molly are going to present us the video. So let's pay attention to Lucy and Molly's video. They say that they are ready to present their video. So let's see it. Okay.
And I'm Lucy Hopwood. Here are today's headlines. The battle to save the high street, should online shopping companies be paying more tax?
Okay, good. Do you see how they highlighted the headlines? Good pronunciation. I wish you guys could speak a little bit slower.
City-based constituencies in Leeds. Leeds Central, Leeds East, Leeds Northeast, Leeds Northwest, and Leeds West. All of these were won by Labour in 2017. That said, a lot has changed in 2 years, and not every seat is a done deal for Labour.
Okay, that's you, Santiago. Okay.
Leeds Northwest, which
good pronunciation. I like your pronunciation, Santiago.
For Liberal Democrats, and it's still marginal. So what are the big issues in Leeds? I think the national issues play through Brexit.
Okay, perfect. Good job. Excellent. That was a good dramatization. Alrighty. I'm very proud of you guys. You guys did an excellent news presentation. You look like real news anchors. That's really, really amazing and interesting. So you guys have future to work on TV. Okay. All right. So as a final activity, we are going to, 1 second. I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay. Okay. As a final activity, what I want you to do is you're going to write, okay, you're going to write a news, right? You're going to write a news, you know, you're going to write a news in a piece of color paper, right, of your preference. You're going to write, you're going to pick a piece of news and you're going to write it in a piece of paper and you're going to stick it on the board or a display so that we can see it, so that I and your classmates, we can see the news that you picked, okay? But with the difference that you have to use one of the types of headlines that we learned today, okay? Whether it's a banner, it's a cross line, flush left head, side head, or kicker, okay? We're gonna use one of these types of headlines and we're gonna write a piece of news. It could be 5 lines, okay? We're gonna write the headlines and then, or news that we picked from any of the sections that I showed you earlier, and we're gonna share it with our classmates, okay? That's gonna be our final activity, okay? Alrighty. So to make a quick review of what we learned about today, we learned about news and types of headlines, how to interpret texts in short texts in the main idea of short text, types of headlines, how to present news, how to be a news anchor, pronunciation, rising and falling intonation, types of emotions, right? We learned the types of emotions that we can use to when we are giving news, tips how to present yourself during the news, type of newses, right? We learned the phrases to express feelings and emotions when hearing the news. And we also learned how to record ourselves by using the platform, right? We use a digital platform to record a news that we selected and we pretended to be news anchors, okay? Alrighty, so that'll be all for today, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Have yourselves a great day, and I'm very proud of the work that you guys did. Have you guys an excellent day. Bye for now.